For Cinco de Mayo, prolific T.O. Jelly Slosh wanted to host a chill event for friends and local SMX enthusiasts, and he knows nothing better than dance game tournaments. Except maybe K-pop. Once the plan was set in motion, he couldn't help but invite the many talented rhythm gamers he met at the various SMX events last year, in the hopes that a couple superstars would light up the bracket. However, no one could have predicted just how many of them would actually make the trek down to Texas. With his house suddenly full of some of the best SMX players to hit the scene, Jelly Slosh had no choice but to throw one of the most stacked quote-unquote locals to ever occur in the Lone Star State. You know the deal. Here's my top 10 highlights from Jelly's Fiesta Frenzy. The actual tournaments only took place on Saturday the 4th, but there was a lot more that went on at the event besides that. With so many players attending from out of state, Jelly Slosh hosted a variety of activities, both at his house and around the sprawling city. Jelly Slosh and his partner Arul made breakfast for the crew, MCAT played a DJ set, the group went to activate games, and of course, who doesn't love a few good rounds of team mode? All this, in addition to the newest content patch conveniently dropping right when the festivities began. We see you, Step Revolution, and evidently, they see us too. And with devs, chartists, and other high-ranking SMX players popping up in Twitch chat over the weekend, what else could you call this but a fiesta? There were two tournament brackets at Jelly's Fiesta Frenzy, Full and Wild. But really, Wild was split into two categories as well. The upper echelon of nationally ranked talent and the unassuming Texas natives out there just doing their best. The three local players who usually trade off in grand finals in our locals did remarkably well considering the impressive relative power level at the event, those being Jelly Slosh, Gloy, and Steve Snowman, all of whom walked away with at least one top 4 medal. But Kerplode fared the best of the remaining locals, being the only other player from Texas to make it out of wild pools to make it to top 12. Though he didn't make it much farther than that, his accomplishment shouldn't be downplayed in a tournament this stacked. Engrossed in college up until now, Gloy just hasn't had the time to attend many out-of-state events besides his short stint at Red October last year. But Houston natives have seen him strut his stuff at our locals for years, and he finally got to prove it to everyone. Not only was he the highest scoring player in full pools, he was the only player at the event to make it to top 4 in both full and wild. He even beat his local rival Steve Snowman in Wild and brought DDR Chad, currently ranked number 1 in the Wild leaderboards, to a Game 6 after tying their final song. His online profile in the SMX app is private, so no one can peek his scores, but you'd be hard-pressed to find another player that could consistently top the points he's shown he can put out. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of Gloy, even if his scores stay hidden.
No way.
Good job.
Oh my god.
You both did good. Good job.
Pilot is a player known for perfection, having one of the highest total APC count of any player. Granted, that skill set doesn't always translate to tournament play. Regardless, in Game 3 against Corey, it looked like he was going to seal the deal, but fate had other plans. In the last 6 notes of Got Good Vibes, he not only managed to drop his APC, but lose the point war altogether.
Oh, he choked it. Oh my god. That was so... Oh my god. What?
But these things have a way of coming back around. In his warm-up against Steve Snowman, Corey was on track to get an APC on Cyber Kyoto, but managed to drop it at the very last measure. It just goes to show that even at this high level of play, everyone makes mistakes. and sometimes it's pretty funny. Steve Snowman has not attended a national tournament in his time playing StepManiaX, but that hasn't stopped him from putting an immense amount of work into refining his arrow stomping skills, particularly in full mode, where he has reached over 500 APCs. He finally got to put his skills to the test in head-to-head competition, taking first place with a 3-0 victory over JJK, who placed second in last year's Red October full tourney. When he steps on the stages, Steve Snowman is unstoppable. JJK may have gotten second place in full mode, which is an incredible feat in an event as beefy as this one, but he did get 3-0'd in finals, and that's not something he takes sitting down. When he rematched against Steve Snowman in the wild bracket, he clapped back with a 3-0 of his own, including getting a perfect score on Steve Snowman's protected song Baseline Shatter. But the tour de force didn't stop there, for when he matched up against Hints, they managed to score within 20 points of each other on Summer, and get the exact same score twice in one set, on The Bass and the Melody and on Rainbow Rave Parade. Only on Song 7 did he finally relent, ending his run at 5th place.
We're here
No
forever.
way! Are you kidding me?
We're here forever.
We will never leave.
Game 7. Give it up for Game 7.
Hints started off the tournament with quite the spell of bad luck. First having to deal with his rental car getting a flat tire, then getting knocked into losers by Glomy in a nail-biter Game 5, and then being matched up against his partner MCAT.
It's funny because when me and Hints ever travel, we always end up playing against each other in brackets, so...
It's so unfortunate.
Both in DDR and SMX, so...
You just can't escape each other.
I know.
But things started looking up when Hints found himself in the loser's run of a lifetime, tearing through Jelly Slosh, JJK, and Glomy in yet another super close Game 5. It finally took Spencer to knock him out at 3rd place, but by that time, Hints had already left his mark on this tournament. Not a question mark, but an exclamation. Every single head-to-head match of the tournament was a best of 5, so to help move it along, players only did half-song warm-ups when they needed one before their set. The only exception to this rule was that if a player had a white combo, that is, no yellow perfects or worse, they could keep playing until they dropped it. Even with this added pressure, several players ended up getting APCs in their warm-up songs, those being Jelly Slosh on Cyber Kyoto, Steve Snowman on Big Boss, and Glomy on Turbo. What better way to intimidate your opponent during warm-ups than to flex that you never needed them in the first place? Spencer is no stranger to tournament pressure, having gotten 2nd at Eclipse East and 1st at Byte. But this was no ordinary bracket, and even though he had played fewer matches, by Grand Finals, he had lost just as many songs as he had before Grands in either of those other tournaments. Even still, he had the stamina to protect and win incredibly intense songs in his last 3 matches, those being Determinator, Monolith, and Pink Fuzzy Bunnies. Many players can't even pass these songs consistently, so to have the confidence to know you'll win them over such talented other players, well, you just gotta be a beast. DDR Chad recently claimed an accomplishment that very few players have ever come close to achieving: 1st place on the Wild leaderboard. But that prestige is no guarantee when it comes to tournament results, and he came into this event with the drive to prove that he could do more than just chase scores. Last year at Byte, DDR Chad ended up falling just short of top 8. Even though this event was just as stacked, he had played a lot more SMX since then. He made it to Grand Finals on the winner's side, but the tournament rules only gave him one chance. no bracket reset, and only one extra point towards a best of 7 was all the advantage he got. But that was all he needed to take the match over Spencer and step away as Jelly's Fiesta Frenzy champion.
And DDR Chad takes it home.
He is your Jelly's Fiesta Frenzy Wild Champion.
And that's all for Jelly's Fiesta Frenzy. Be sure to attend your locals, because you never know when one will be stacked to the ceiling. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more updates like this one. Double thanks to my patrons Werdwerdus, Red Note, and Cowlauncher for supporting the channel. Peace!